So hello everyone. Today we will study the next property of Laplace transform, which is the first shifting theorem. In the previous lecture we have seen change of scale property. So what was change of scale property? If L of f of t is equal to f of s, then L of f of at is equal to 1 by a into f of s by a. So once you know what is L of f of t, then we can calculate L of f of at. L of f of t is denoted by f of s. So L of f of at is 1 by a into f of s by a. So this change of scale property is applied when L of f of t is given and we have to calculate L of f of at, which means when t is given, when t is replaced by at, and then we have to calculate the Laplace transform by using the change of scale property. Now the first shifting theorem states that if L of f of t is equal to f of s, then L of e raised to minus at f of t is equal to f of s plus a, which means you are given L of f of t, and when f of t is multiplied by e raised to function, then how to calculate the Laplace transform? Okay, if L of f of t is f of s, then L of e raised to minus at f of t is f of s plus a. So whatever is the function other than e raised to, we have to calculate the Laplace transform. The function other than e raised to minus at here is f of t. So we have to calculate L of f of t. Calculate the answer. It is going to be a function of s. That is f of s we will get. So calculating L of f of t, which is equal to f of s. So whatever answer we get for this Laplace transform, in that answer replace s by s plus a. If we are having e raised to minus at, then we have to replace s by s plus a. It is the opposite sign. When you have minus at, then it is plus a. Or if you have e raised to at, then replace s by s minus a. So what we have to do is, when you're given such type of function, whatever is the function other than e raised to, calculate the Laplace transform of that function. And whatever answer you get for that Laplace transform, replace s by s plus a or s minus a according to the function given. If e raised to minus at is given, replace s by s plus a, and if e raised to at is given, then replace s by s minus a. So our aim is to calculate the Laplace transform of the function other than e raised to minus at. Whatever answer we get, replace s by s plus a or s minus a. So first example, find Laplace transform of e raised to minus 2t into sine 2t. L of e raised to minus 2t into sine 2t. So what I told you, we have to find the Laplace transform of the function other than e raised to. So the function other than e raised to minus 2t, here it is sine 2t. So we have to calculate the Laplace transform of sine 2t. So we know that L of sine at is a upon s square plus a square. So L of sine 2t will become 2 upon s square plus 2 square. That is equal to 2 upon s square plus 4. Okay, so we are calculating the Laplace transform of the function which is other than e raised to minus 2t. So L of sine 2t is 2 upon s square plus 4. Now we have to calculate L of e raised to minus 2t. So whatever answer we have got, we have to replace s by s plus 2. So next is L of e raised to minus 2t sine 2t. Whatever is L of sine 2t, replace s by s plus 2. Since we have minus 2t here, we have to replace s by s plus 2. If it is minus, then we get plus here. So what is L of sine 2t we have got? 2 upon s square plus 4. This is already we have calculated. So L of sine 2t is 2 upon s square plus 4. So in this answer, replace s by s plus 2. Replacing s by s plus 2, not replacing s by 2, replacing s by s plus 2, which means we will get wherever s is there, we have to replace it by s plus 2. So we will get 2 upon s plus 2 the whole square plus 4. Open the bracket. So we will have 2 upon a plus b the whole square. So s square plus 4s plus 4 plus 4. We can combine these two constants. So 2 upon s square plus 4s plus 8. So L of e raised to minus 2t sine 2t is equal to 2 upon s square plus 4s plus 8. Okay, so we have to identify the function which is other than e raised to minus 2, calculate the Laplace transform of that, and whatever answer we get, we have to replace s by s plus 2 if e raised to minus 2t is given. If e raised to plus 2t is given, replace s by s minus 2. Okay, that is the first shifting theorem. So first shifting theorem is applied when the function is multiplied by e raised to minus at or e raised to at. So we have to calculate the Laplace transform of the function and replace s by s plus 2. Second problem. L of e raised to minus 3t into t raised to 5. L of e raised to minus 3t t raised to 5. So again, we have a function multiplied by e raised to minus 3t. So whatever is the function, okay, other than e raised to minus 3t, the function here it is t raised to 5. So we have to calculate the Laplace transform of t raised to 5. So we know that L of t raised to n is gamma n plus 1 upon s raised to n plus 1. So using this, we will calculate Laplace transform of t raised to 5. Okay, why we have to calculate? Because the function is multiplied by e raised to minus 3t. So first calculate the Laplace transform of the function t raised to 5. So t raised to n is gamma n plus 1 upon s raised to n plus 1. T raised to 5 will become gamma 5 plus 1 upon s raised to 5 plus 1. That is gamma 6 upon s raised to 6. We know gamma 6 is 5 factorial and 5 factorial is equal to 120. So we'll get L of t raised to 5 is 120 upon s raised to 6. This is the Laplace transform of the function f of t. Now whatever answer we have got, since this function is multiplied by e raised to minus 3t, so whatever answer we have got for L of t raised to 5, replace s by s plus 3 because we have minus 3t here. Replace s by s plus 3. So L of e raised to minus 3t, t raised to 5 will be whatever is the Laplace transform of the function, replacing s by s plus 3. And we have got L of t raised to 5 as 120 upon s raised to 6. So replacing s by s plus 3 whole raised to 6. If you want, we can expand or leave it like that. That is fine. Okay, so our aim is to find the Laplace transform of the function other than e raised to and then replace s by s plus or s minus depending upon the e raised to function. Next problem. L of e raised to 2t cos 2t into cos t. L of e raised to 2t cos 2t into cos t, which means first we have to calculate the Laplace transform of the function other than e raised to 2t. So here we have two terms, cos 2t into cos t other than e raised to 2t. So first we will simplify this and calculate the Laplace transform of cos 2t into cos t. Then whatever answer we'll get, we'll replace s by s minus 2 because we have plus 2 here. We have to replace s by s minus 2. So first step is we have to calculate the Laplace transform of cos 2t into cos t. Now cos 2t into cos t, it is of the form cos A cos B. So we know from trigonometric identities 2 cos A cos B is equal to cos A plus B plus cos A minus B. Cos A cos B comes in the expansion of cos A plus B and cos A minus B. When we expand cos of A plus B, we will get cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. And cos of A minus B is cos A cos B plus sin A sin B. So when we add both, sin A sin B will get cancelled. We will get 2 cos A cos B. So here A is equal to 2t and B is equal to t. So calculating, 2 is missing, so multiplying and dividing by 2. So cos 2t will become 1 upon 2 cos of A plus B. A plus B will be 2t plus t, that is 3t. A minus B, that is 2t minus t, which is equal to t. So cos 2t into cos t will become half of cos 3t plus cos t. Why we get this half? Because in the formula we have 2 cos A cos B. Here 2 is missing, so multiplying and dividing by 2. Now take Laplace on both the sides. L of cos 2t cos t, because directly we cannot calculate the Laplace transform of these two functions. The reason is we have product of two functions and L cannot be taken inside when we have product of two functions. So we have to make use of the trigonometric formulas and reduce it to sum or difference of two functions. So now we have reduced the product to sum of the two functions, L of cos 3t plus cos t. Now we have plus sign, so we can separate L now. So L of cos 3t plus L of cos t. We can separate L as we have plus sign in between the two functions. Here we cannot, don't write as L of cos 2t into L of cos t. Okay, when we have product of two or more functions, we cannot take as L of first function into L of second function. That property is not true. Where only when you have plus or minus in between the functions, then we can take L inside. So now L of the first function plus L of the second function. So using the formula for L of cos AT in both the terms. So we know that L of cos AT is S upon S square plus A square. So we have L of cos AT is S upon S square plus A square. So cos 3t will become S upon S square plus 3 square and cos t will become S upon S square plus 1 square, that is 1. Okay, so L of cos 3t we have to write and L of cos t. We can cross multiply. So S into, or S can be taken common. So we will get 1 upon S square plus 9 and 1 upon S square plus 1. So cross multiply S square plus 1 plus S square plus 3 square upon S square plus 3 square into S square plus 1. Cross multiplying after taking S common. Now open this bracket. We have S square plus 1 plus S square plus 9. So S square plus S square will become 2S square. 9 plus 1 will become 10. So I can write 2S square plus 10 upon S square plus 3 square into S square plus 1. Now if we take 2 common, that 2 and this 2 can be cancelled, or I can write S into, we can take 2 common. So we will have S square plus 5 and the 2 which is taken out will get cancelled with this 2. So S into S square plus 5 upon S square plus 9 into S square plus 1. Now this is L of cos 2t into cos t. Okay, we are calculating the Laplace transform of the function other than e raised to term. So we had the function cos 2t into cos t. So we have calculated L of cos 2t into cos t equal to this. Next we have to calculate L of e raised to 2t. This Laplace transform is there in the previous step. Okay, now whatever answer we have got, in that we have to replace s by s minus 2. So this was the answer which we got in the previous step. Now in this step, replace s by s minus 2. Wherever s is there, replace it by s minus 2. So we will get s minus 2 the whole square plus 5, s minus 2 the whole square plus 9, s minus 2 the whole square plus 1. Again, we can simplify after opening the bracket s minus 2 the whole square. So when we open the bracket, we will get s square minus 4s plus 4 plus 5, that is 9. Here s square minus 4s plus 4 plus 9, that is 13. S square minus 4s plus 4 plus 1, that is 5. So L of e raised to 2t cos 2t is equal to L of e raised to 2t cos 2t cos t is equal to s minus 2 into s square minus 4s plus 9 upon s square minus 4s plus 30 into s square minus 4s plus 5. So our aim is always calculate whenever you have a function multiplied by e raised to, calculate the Laplace transform of the function, and then whatever answer we get, in that replace s by s minus 2. Now here we got this as the function, so we have calculated the Laplace transform of this, and whatever answer we've got, replacing s by s minus 2 and simplifying. Next problem. L of e raised to minus 3t cos h 4t into sin 3t. Now when we see here the function other than e raised to, we are having cos h 4t and cos sin 3t. Okay, so we are not having any direct formula to convert cos hyperbolic into cos, and we cannot apply Laplace also on both the sides. So what we will do is, before using the first shifting theorem, we can write cos hyperbolic t in terms of e raised to. We know that cos ht is e raised to t plus e raised to minus t upon 2. So first we'll simplify the term inside the bracket, because this term will also have e raised to. So we can combine those e raised to and then apply the first shifting theorem. So what we will do is, before applying the first shifting theorem, since cos hyperbolic has also e raised to in it, we can write cos h4t is e raised to 4t plus e raised to minus 4t upon 2. So 1 by 2 will come out. Now combine this e raised to. Take e raised to minus 3t inside the bracket. So e raised to minus 3t into e raised to 4t will become e raised to t, and this will become e raised to minus 7t. Why we are doing this step? Because cos hyperbolic t also we have the formula in terms of e raised to. Taking 2 outside, opening the bracket, so we will get e raised to t plus e raised to minus 7t into sin 3t. Again open the bracket, so we will have half of e raised to t sin 3t plus e raised to minus 7t sin 3t. So now we have to calculate the Laplace transform of this and Laplace transform of this. So now we are having two functions. So in both the terms we have to apply the first shifting theorem. So the first term, we have the function sin 3t other than e raised to t, and in the second term we have the function as sin 3t again with e raised to minus 7t. So we have to calculate the Laplace transform of sin 3t for both the terms, and whatever answer you get in the first term, replace s by s minus 1, and in the second term replace s by s plus 7. Okay, because if you don't calculate, if you don't convert this cos hyperbolic in terms of e raised to, we cannot simplify. Okay, that is why we are simplifying first those e raised to terms and then applying the first shifting theorem. So now this problem has reduced to half of e raised to t sin 3t plus e raised to minus 7t into sin 3t. Okay, this was the original problem given. After using the formula for cos h4t, we have got now this as the problem. So our aim is to find the Laplace transform of this function. This is the function. So we are calculating the Laplace transform on both the sides. We find the Laplace transform of this function. So taking Laplace transform on both the sides. So now we have two terms. We can separate that, L of first function plus L of second function. And now applying first shifting theorem to both the terms. So in both the terms, since the function is same as sin 3t, we can calculate L of sin 3t. So what is L of sin 3t? We know L of sin at is a upon s square plus a square. So sin 3t will become 3 upon s square plus 3 square. For the first function, we have to replace s by s minus 1. And the same second function, s has to be replaced by s plus 7. So now I'm calculating only the first term. So first term is s has to be replaced by s minus 1. That means in 3 upon s square plus 9, replace s by s minus 1. So we will get 3 upon s minus 1 the whole square plus 3 square. So when we simplify, we will get s minus 1 the whole square will become s square minus 2s plus 1 plus 9, or 3 upon s square minus 2s plus 10. This is the Laplace transform of the first term, that is e raised to t sine 3t. Next, we have to calculate the Laplace transform of the second term, which is e raised to minus 7t into sine 3t. So again, we have to calculate the Laplace transform of sine 3t. Whatever answer we get, replace s by s plus 7. So sine 3t, we know it is equal to 3 upon s square plus 3 square. In this answer, replace s by s plus 7. So 3 upon s plus 7 the whole square plus 3 square. So we have 3 upon s square plus 14s. This will become 49. Here it is 9. Or I can write that as 58. So s square plus 14s plus 58. So this is the value of this is the function for the first term, Laplace transform of the first term. This is the Laplace transform of the second term. Adding both, and then we have that half part. So we have taken that equation as equation 1, substituting these two Laplace transforms in equation 1. We had this as equation 1, and now we have got both the values of these Laplace transforms, substituting that. So first one is 3 upon, this is also 3 upon s square plus 14s plus 58. Either we can leave the answer till here, or you can just cross multiply. 3 can be taken common, just to cross multiply. So s square plus 14s plus 58 plus s square minus 2s plus 10 upon this into this. 2s square plus s square is 2s square. 14s minus 2s is 12s. 58 plus 10 is 68. Upon denominator remains the same. Again, we can take 2 common and cancel with this 2. So remaining will be s square plus 6s plus 34, and this 3 can be taken inside. So this is a Laplace transform of the given problem. So L of e raised to minus 3t cos h4t sine 3t is equal to this. So our aim is to simplify the function other than e raised to. Now since cos hyperbolic is also having e raised to in it, first we have simplified and reduced that to this form. And then we are calculating the first shifting theorem, or calculating the Laplace transform of sine 3t, replacing s by s minus 1, and calculating the Laplace transform of sine 3t, replacing s by s plus 1. So we get these two terms. It's only simplification in the further steps, just cross multiplying and taking the common terms. Next example, L of e raised to 2t sine raised to 4t. Again, we have only one function, sine raised to 4t. We have to calculate the Laplace transform of sine raised to 4t. Whatever answer we will get, replace s by s minus 2. So our aim is to calculate the Laplace transform of sine raised to 4t. We cannot write directly Laplace transform of sine raised to 4t because we have product of 4 terms, sine t into sine t. That is why we got sine raised to 4t. So now we have to simplify. Either use the trigonometric formula. On the other day, I think we have done sine raised to 6t by converting sine in terms of e raised to. I will show you one more method. You can use either that method or this method. This method we have used in semester 1 in expanding sine raised to n theta, cos raised to n theta, etc. The method goes like this. So now we are first calculating sine raised to 4t. You can convert sine raised to 4t as e raised to it minus e raised to minus it upon 2 whole raised to 4. Use the binomial expansion and simplify. That is one method. The second method is like this. When I take x is equal to cos t plus I sine t, then 1 upon x will become cos t minus I sine t by De Moivre's theorem. When x is equal to this, 1 by x means x raised to minus 1. So this raised to minus 1 from the De Moivre's theorem will get cos t minus I sin t. So if x is cos t plus I sin t, 1 by x will become cos t minus I sin t. Adding both. When we add both, I sin t terms will get cancelled. We will have 2 cos t is equal to x plus 1 by x. 2 cos t is equal to x plus 1 by x. Adding these two equations. When we add, I sin t will get cancelled. And when we subtract, cos t will get cancelled. We will have 2i sin t as x minus 1 by x. It is same as e raised to. There we have used e raised to I theta minus e raised to minus I theta upon to same formula in a different representation. Okay, you can use any one. Same formula we have. There we have, here we have used cos t plus I sin theta, which is same as e raised to. So we can replace x by e raised to and 1 upon x as e raised to minus I. That also can be done. I've kept it in e 1 by x form. Any way we can do it. Because here we are not having that I part. When you convert this to e raised to, then you have got e raised to it minus e raised to minus it. Just to avoid that, I have converted this to x and 1 by x. Okay. Now when x is cos t plus I sin t, x raised to n will become from De Moivre's theorem, cos theta plus I sin theta whole raised to n is cos n theta plus I sin n theta. So if x is cos t plus I sin t, x raised to n will become cos nt plus I sin nt. Similarly, the reciprocal we will have a negative sign. If x is plus, 1 by x is minus. So if x raised to n is plus, then 1 upon x raised to n will be cos nt minus I sin nt. Again adding both. 2 cos nt is x raised to n plus 1 upon x raised to n. And 2i sin nt is x raised to n minus 1 upon x raised to n. Either you take this form or you can take in terms of e raised to, both are okay. Okay, because cos t plus I sin t is e raised to it. So we can replace x by e raised to it, 1 upon e raised to 1 by x as e raised to minus it, and then use that. I am not converting to e raised to, I am keeping it as x only. That is only the difference here. So now we want sine raised to 4. Since we want sine raised to, we will make use of this equation. 2i sin t. If cos raised to was asked, then we will make use of this equation. Since here sine is asked, we will use the formula 2i sin t is equal to x minus 1 by x. So 2i sin t, we want whole raised to 4. So x minus 1 by x whole raised to 4. Okay. Since we are asked to calculate sine raised to 4t, we are starting with 2i sin t as x minus 1 by x, then taking raised to 4 on both the sides. Now we have to expand this. To expand this a minus b whole raised to 4, we have to make use of the Pascal's triangle to get the binomial coefficients. So we know how to write the Pascal's triangle. I'll repeat it again. So 1 we have to write here. Again writing 1 on the extreme ends. Then 1 here, 1, then 1 plus 1, 2, again 1. Then 1 here, 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 1 is 3, again 1. Then 1 plus 3 is 4, 3 plus 3 is 6, 3 plus 1 is 4, again 1. Now since we want 4, these are the coefficients, binomial coefficients for the expansion of a minus b whole raised to 4. So I can write a minus b whole raised to 4 as first coefficient is 1. So I'll write all the coefficients first. 1, 4, 6, 4 and 1. Then we have a minus sign in between. So we will get alternate. First term is positive, second negative, third positive, fourth negative, fifth positive. Then the first term will be a raised to 4. So write a raised to 4, in the next term a cube, in the next term a square, then a and then a raised to 0. Then b will start from here. B raised to 0, b raised to 1, b square, b cube and b raised to 4. Okay, this is the way to write the binomial expansion. First write the coefficients. Then if you have plus, write everywhere plus. If you have minus, then first term is positive, alternate plus and minus. Then write the first term a raised to 4. Then go on reducing the power of a. If it is 4, next we'll have 3, 2, 1 and 0. Then start b. B has to, a power has to be in the descending order and b power has to be in the ascending order. So first term we will get b raised to 0, that is 1, b raised to 1, b square, b cube and b raised to 4. So using this expansion, we have to expand x minus 1 by x whole raised to 4. Okay, so now instead of a, we are having x. Instead of b, we are having 1 by x. So I can write a raised to 4 will become x raised to 4. 4a cube is x cube, b is 1 by x, a square is x square, b square is 1 by x the whole square, a is x, b is 1 by x and 1 by x whole raised to 4. Just replacing a and b by x and 1 by x with alternate plus and minus signs. Now simplify all these x terms. So x raised to 4 minus 4x square. This x square and x square will get cancelled, plus 6 minus 4x upon x cube, that is 1 upon x square, and this will become 1 upon x raised to 4. Okay. First expanding using the binomial expansion, simplifying these x powers. So we get this. Now combine first and last, second and second last. So x raised to 4 plus 1 upon x, the like powers, whatever you have, you can combine that. X raised to 4, 1 upon x raised to 4. Now here we have minus 4x square minus 4. So I can take minus 4 common, x square plus 1 by x square, and then we have here 6. So we can write, now we have seen that when we calculate x raised to n plus 1 upon x raised to n, we get 2 cos nt. So using this, we can write x raised to 4 plus 1 upon x raised to 4 will become 2 cos 4t. This will become 2 cos 2t. So using this formula, which I have written in the beginning, x raised to 4 plus 1 upon x raised to 4 will become 2 cos nt. X square plus 1 upon x square will become 2 cos 2t. So I can write this as 2 cos 4t minus 4 into 2 cos 2t plus 6. Okay, this is 2i sin t whole raised to 4. Now we have to simplify the left hand side. We have got 2i sin t whole raised to 4. That is 2 raised to 4, I raised to 4, sin raised to 4. Okay, so in the next step, I can write 2 raised to 4, I raised to 4, sin raised to 4t is equal to the right hand side. Now everywhere in all the terms we are having 1, 2. So we can cancel 2 throughout. So we can write, and I raised to 4 is also equal to 1. What is I raised to 4? It is I square into I square. I square is minus 1. So minus 1 into minus 1 will give you the answer as plus 1. So we can write, we can cancel 1, 2 throughout, and I raised to 4 can be replaced by 1. So we will get 2 cube sin raised to 4t is equal to, after cancelling 2, cos 4t minus 4 cos 2t plus 3. Or sin raised to 4 is equal to 1 of this 2 cube is 1 upon is 8. So 1 upon 8 will come on the right hand side. Cos 4t minus 4 into cos 2t plus 3. This is sin raised to 4t. This is sin raised to 4t. Now take Laplace on both the sides. So L of these. Now we have minus and plus signs in between the functions. We can take L of first term minus L of second term plus L of the third term. We can separate that L to all the 3 terms. Now since 3 is a constant, 3 can be taken out and we can add L of 1. Now writing the Laplace transforms of all these. L of 1 is 1 by s. L of cos at is s upon s square plus a square. So writing the Laplace transform of all the 3 functions. So we have the first function as cos 4t, which is s upon s square plus 4 square. Second term is cos 2t, so s upon s square plus 2 square, and L of 1 is 1 by s. Simplifying, 4 square is 16, 4, I'm writing it over here. 2 square is 4. This is Laplace transform of sine raised to 4. But what was asked? We were asked to calculate L of e raised to 2t into sine raised to 4. So whatever answer we have got, we have to replace s by s minus 2. Whatever answer we have got for sine L of sine raised to 4, replace s by s minus 2. So in this answer, replacing s by s minus 2. So wherever s was there, we have replaced s by s minus 2. Then we can simplify and write the final answer. Opening the bracket in the denominator, a minus b the whole square, s square minus 4s plus 4 plus 16, s square minus 4 plus 4 plus 4, and s minus 2. We can combine here 4 plus 16, 20, 4 plus 4, 8, and s minus 2 as it is. Next problem. If L of f of t is s upon s square plus s plus 4, find L of e raised to minus 3t into f of 2t. We are given L of f of t. We have to calculate Laplace transform of e raised to minus 3t into f of 2t. So I told you, whenever a function is multiplied by e raised to, we have to calculate the Laplace transform of the function first. Whatever answer we will get, we have to replace s by s plus 3 in this case. So first we have to calculate L of f of 2t. L of f of t is known. L of f of 2t. So we can calculate L of f of 2t by change of scale property. So from change of scale property, we know that L of f of at is 1 by a f of s by a. So we have to calculate now L of f of 2t, which means a is equal to 2. So L of f of 2t will become 1 upon 2 f of s by 2. Now what is f of s? F of s is L of f of t. So this part is our f of s. F of s is s upon s square plus s plus 4. In this answer, replace s by s by 2. This is our f of s. Now in this f of s, because we know L of f of t is always replaced by f of s. So in this function, now wherever s is there, replace it by s by 2. So we will have 1 by 2, s by 2, s by 2 the whole square plus s by 2 plus 4. We can simplify or keep it as it is. Now we have to calculate L of e raised to minus 3t into f of 2. This is L of this. So in this answer, replace s by s plus 3, because we have minus 3t here, replacing s by s plus 3. So wherever s was there, we have replaced s by s plus 3. If we can simplify or leave it like that. That is not a problem. Only thing, we have to apply the properties correctly. If t is replaced by at, apply change of scale. If f of t is multiplied by e raised to minus 3t, apply the first shifting theorem. So depending upon the function given, we have to apply those properties accordingly. Maybe we can take the LCM here. So here the 4 will be the common LCM. So we'll get s plus 3 the whole square plus 2 into s plus 3 plus 16. This 2 will come down, so we'll get 4, and this 4 and 4 will get cancelled. We will have s plus 3 upon s plus 3 the whole square plus 2 into s plus 3 plus 16. So first we have calculated L of f of 2t by using the change of scale property. Whatever answer we have got, then it is multiplied by e raised to, so replacing s by s plus 3. Opening the bracket and simplifying. We had s plus 3 the whole square. So we've expanded x square plus 6s plus 9. Then 2 into s plus 3 plus 16. Just simplified that and we got s plus 3 upon s square plus 8s plus 31. So we get e raised to minus 3t, f of 2t is s plus 3 upon s squared plus 8s plus 31. Okay, so we have used till now two properties. One is change of scale, other one is a first shifting theorem. Change of scale is applied when t is replaced by at. If L of f of t is known, we can calculate L of f of at. Here, if L of e raised to minus 3t into f of t is given, then we have to apply the first shifting theorem, or whenever the function is multiplied by e raised to, apply the first shifting theorem. Some of the practice problems which you can try. So whenever you have hyperbolic function, reduce those hyperbolic functions in terms of e raised to and then apply the first shifting theorem. This is same as the last problem which we have done. So thank you and see you in the next lecture.